You don't build a billion-dollar platform by asking, what's the normal way to do this? If you think normal, usual, or average is the way forward, get the out of here. If you're still watching, hit subscribe and let's dive into why curiosity and not thinking straight can literally shift culture and even change the world. Share this video with someone you want to inspire. What if the tool you use every day to settle debates, find jobs, write essays, or even ask what's wrong with your dog or cat started as a side project with a super terrible name? They called it BackRub. Do you know who I'm talking about? Comment if you knew who I was talking about before I say their name. BackRub analyzed backlinks to measure web pages' importance. Not flashy, just brilliant. It ran out of a dorm room, stitched together from salvaged PCs pinging Stanford's network. This highlights the importance of just doing the thing. Don't wait for innovations. Be the innovator. Be the innovation. And it worked. By mid-1996, BackRub, still a terrible name, had indexed over 75 million pages, surfacing results that felt smarter than anything else out there at the time. But thank God the name didn't fit. It sounded more like a spa or one of those weird seedy massages, not a tool that would transform the internet. So they brainstormed new names, thankfully. One suggestion was Google, spelled like this. It's a math term with a 1 followed by 100 zeros. One of the co-founders accidentally spelled Google, as you see here, our way, instead of Google, as you see here, and they decided that that looked the best, and thank God. But this isn't a story about a name and an algorithm, no matter how bad the name was. This is about two curious minds who followed an idea so far off the map, they ended up building a map that the rest of us now use, even if nowadays, some of us ask like me, ChatGPT for directions a little bit. Did you know who I was talking about already? When Larry Page and Sergey Brin left Stanford in 1995, they weren't dreaming of absolute internet domination. They were just asking different questions. And for those of you old enough to remember, the early internet was dirty and chaotic. It did not make a lot of sense. It was still getting pieced together. Pages weren't ranked by truth or usefulness, just by whenever they were posted. So, Larry and Sergey built something that felt unthinkable. A search engine that ranked websites by the way academics cite research, by trust, relevance, and connection. And it became a verb. Google today is so much more than a search bar. It's a household name for countless conversations, a global nervous system for how we access information. Behind that one clean search bar box is a company valued at $2.2 trillion. Under its parent company, Alphabet, Google now includes YouTube, second largest search engine, Gmail, used by billions of us,
Google Maps, powering every navigation tool in nearly every car and app, Android, the most widely used mobile OS in the world,
Chrome, Doc, Sheets, Drive, Translate, Calendar, and moonshots through X like Waymo, DeepMind, Calico, Wing, and more. And if you want to learn more about these tools, I just got one verb for you. All of that from one question. What if there's a better way to find things? And what made them legendary was not this outstanding engineering, it was how deeply they chased ideas no one else was taking seriously. They created X, Google's moonshot lab, not to be confused with the social platform formerly known as Twitter. This X was short for Solve for the Unknown, a place where they tackled wild problems like self-driving cars, internet balloons, and life extension, aiming not only for 10% better, but 10 times solutions. And it's all because they just refused to stop asking curious questions. That's the thread. And they just kept pulling at it. Don't settle for better, build for beyond. That's the heart of 10x thinking. And I think this is a beautiful and ironic time for today's reading. The book is A Curious Mind. Definitely worth a buy. Go buy it, go read it, let me know what you think. But here's the really important question. Does having all of human knowledge available for us in the palm of our hands make us more curious or less curious? When you read about the speed of bees flying, does that inspire you to learn more about aerodynamics? Or does it do the opposite? Does it satisfy you enough to go back onto Instagram and start swiping? It was Karl Marx who called religion the opium of the masses. He meant that religion was designed to provide enough answers that people stopped asking questions. We need to be careful, individually, that the internet doesn't anesthetize us instead of inspire us. Anesthetize? Anesthetize. Let me know how to say it in the comments or something. I don't know. There are two things you can't find on the internet: Just like there were two things Robert Hooke couldn't find in the Bible or in the decrees of King Charles I. One, you can't search for the answer to questions that haven't been asked yet. Two, you can't Google a new idea. The internet can only tell us what we already know. We have to push the boundaries. I added that last bit. Okay. So, you don't build a billion-dollar platform by asking, what's the normal way to do this? You build them by flirting with the edges of what is deemed normal and trusting that your curiosity will take you somewhere worth going. What's one topic you've only scratched the surface of? What if you zoomed in, got weird about it, obsessed like Mr. Beast? What if you chased it until it changed not just your life, but how others live theirs? That's ideas. That's ideas worth sharing. Larry Page and Sergey Brin didn't think straight. They thought recursively, algorithmically, unreasonably. They didn't only organize the world's information, they changed how we find ourselves and exist within it. Don't think straight. Jake says go.
If any of this resonated with you, hit like, subscribe, and go tell a friend.